Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Gnana Antva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Eshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashranvannuti Viseda Sadhanam Mahaganadipataye Namaham. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitriyavatam Vagdevye Namaham. Om Sadasiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Smadacharya Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Srutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Dvare Nikilanilim Parishat Siddhim Vidatte Nisham Srimat Sri Lasitam Jagat Gurupadam Natvatma Triptingatam Lokajnanapayodapat Naduram Sri Shankaram Sharmadam Shankara Bhagavad Padhacharya Guruvaram Yayami Jyotirmayam. Om Nidaye Sarva Vidyana Vishadhe Vavarohinam Rave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaham. Om Namah Pranavartaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaham. Om Yeshwara Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Yomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaham. Om Ham 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 Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Vidyasu Sruti Utkrishta Rudra Ekadashni Shrutau Tatra Panchakshari Tasyam Shiva Ityaksharadvayam. With that we'll begin our class. On Adi Shankaracharya's Shiva Panchakshari Nakshatra Stotram. A lot of people know Bhajagovindam and then Ganesha Pancharatnam. So many of the other compositions by Adi Shankaracharya, but this is one of very few ones that not many are aware of. But this is one of the very great compositions of Bhagavad Padacharya. It's called Shiva Panchakshara Nakshatra Stotram. The reason it has all these adjectives is, if you say Panchakshara Nakshatra Stotram, Panchakshara could be a Devi Panchakshari, could be other deities Panchakshari. So this is Shiva Panchakshari, Nama Shivaya. So based on Shiva Panchakshari, the Acharya composed Nakshatra Mala, garland of stars. The stars here meaning the 27 stars in Indian astrology. So each stanza has 4 lines, and each line ends with Namah Shivaya. So each line describes the great qualities and compassion of Lord Shiva, and then ends with Namah Shivaya. My pranams unto thee, my worship unto thee. So 4 Namah Shivayas in each stanza. So the 27 stanzas corresponding to the 27 stars in the Indian Vedic astrology. So totally there are 108 Panchakshari mantras. So if you chant this sloka one time, not only you have done 108 japa of Panchakshari mantra, but you also have sung the glory of Lord Shiva. So this is at once, this Nakshatra Mala Stotra is at once Jnana Sadhana or Moksha Sadhana through Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And also at the same time, it takes care of the other little details of solving your planetary issues or problems of Navagrahas that you may have. But that's not the main purpose, even though each stanza was assigned later on by some Vidwans, Pandits, the 27 stars. But then that's not the main purpose. This is like using a diamond or a golden needle to pick a thorn out of your foot if you use it just for the planetary problems. No, this golden needle needs to be used to stitch your cloth for moksha. So that's what the main purpose is. But these are all the side benefits, not effects, because effects have a negative connotation. These are the fringe benefits of the planets being taken care of. But that's not the main purpose of the Acharya composing this. The other reason being that for those who did want to chant in those days, the Namah Shivaya, the Panchakshari, they had to be properly initiated and they had to observe certain rules and regulations before launching on to the Panchakshari Nama Japa. So for those who didn't have those kind of opportunities, but those who could read Sanskrit but didn't have opportunity to get initiated, or didn't have the chance or facilities to observe all the rules and regulations, this was the easy way out. So Acharya, because of his compassion and kindness, designed this. Both men and women, whether they are initiated or not initiated, could chant this and still get the benefit of the Panchakshari Nama Japa. Now, I put this first slide here just to drive home the point that in Tamil what we call Shankaracharya is not your, Veetikilikirai. Shankaracharya is not to be simple meaning, is not your backyard baji. So meaning that you have to take Shankaracharya very seriously. Seriously in the sense that he is someone whose glory is beyond your imagination, beyond my imagination, beyond anybody's imaginations. Because there is yet to be born as a human being one person who did what he did and who had the qualities of what he had and accomplished what he did. There is yet to be born one person. There is never a person before him, never after him, who did what he did throughout India. He was a great avatar incarnation. He's a holistic avatar. Holistic avatar in the sense he was complete in everything, just not in one aspect, holistic. And he was complete divinity in action, divinity not hidden, divinity not out of sight, and divinity not sitting quietly in samadhi. But this is divinity walking, talking, winning, debating, fighting, not literally, but fighting in with debates and subduing. That is action. This was a literal battlefield that he waged. If you were to vividly imagine what he did, it's unimaginable. And the way he won the debates, not only with the other religions, but even with the Hindu saints themselves, the Karmakandis, and other sects. So even you might say the other Buddhists and other religions, Jains, they were not exposed to our Shastras, and so it was okay, easy for him to defeat them. No, not quite so, because even though the Buddhist and Jain Shastras were not the same as ours, but there were perfect logic in those. So he had to win over all of them in logic and establish the supremacy of the Vedic Dharma and the credentials and the stamp of authority on his capacity to win the debates is the way he won the Hindu acharyas themselves. So Mandan Mishra, you name them. So everybody, even the Hindu acharyas, he won over debate, and that's how he was able to unify the religion. Not only he won over other religious leaders, but also over Hindu leaders themselves. So it was divinity in action, and he had Ashtama Siddhis, you name it, what kind of Siddhis he didn't have. He had all kinds of Siddhis, and the Siddhis and the miracles accomplished by all the other religious leaders put together will not even surpass what Adi Shankaracharya did. That's how his glory is. And his intellect was par excellent, and the intellect was in par excellent. It's just a pinnacle of intellect, logic, in all these commentaries he wrote, in all these debates he won. Intellect par excellence, wisdom par excellence, and with all this, he was down to earth. With all this, he was down to earth, and the only one who could conquer him and subdue him was Lord Shiva himself in the form of a Chandala in Varanasi. Most of you know that stories. So the reason I'm giving you this background is if such a persona as Adi Shankaracharya composed this and tells you these things in the Panchakshari Nakshatra Mala Stotram, you cannot take them with a pinch of salt. You got to take them very seriously. So with that, I will move on. So that is the introduction to Adi Shankaracharya and the Nakshatramala Stotram. And we went through it already. And this is one of the siddhis he performed even as a child, Kanakadara, by singing Kanakadara Stotram and having Goddess Lakshmi shower Kanakas, golden coins, on this neighbor lady who had nothing but a small gooseberry to offer him. So he just meditated on Lakshmi and sang the Kanakadara Stotram, and there it was, the rain of golden coins. And that family in Kaladi is still doing very well. You could see these details in a documentary published from the Sharada Peetham. And what he didn't do, I mean, here he is containing the flood in Narmada river in his Kamandal and saving his guru from being washed out. And then he also changed the course of a river. So that's why I'm saying he's not your so he had to accept him. So, okay. Now, glory of Namah Shivaya, Adi Shankaracharya did not do anything new in singing the glory of Namah Shivaya or in associating it with the planets. Because from time immemorial this has been done. The glory of Namah Shivaya has been sung from time immemorial in so many different traditions. And all that Adi Shankaracharya did was revive it and summarize it for the sake of all of us and put it to such a rhyme and music that every word could chant it. You would just, what a rhyme and rhythm this composition is. It's just amazing. It's the cadence and the rhyme and rhythm of this composition. It's just mind-boggling. And he just did it just like that. So the way that the glory of Namah Shivaya started with Tirumoolar himself, which is 5,000 years ago, and then down the Vedic times, 3 to 4,000 years ago in the Rig Veda and the Yajur Veda, where the Namah Shivaya, glory of Namah Shivaya is sung in Sri Rudram, Namah Shivaya cha Shivataraya cha. And then after that, through the Nayanmas in the 7th and the 6th, 7th and 8th centuries, Appar Sambandar Sundarar and the 63 Nayanmas, mainly Appar Sambandar Sundarar and Manivasagar, all these 4 main Nayanmas, including Karaikalamaya, the Lady Saint. And then after that, picked up by Adi Shankaracharya again, and a great line of saints like Akka Mahadevi in Karnataka, Ramalinga Swamigal, Ramana Maharishi, and on and on and on and on. So, in the Vedic times, Om Namah Shivaya mantra was enshrined in the Vedas as the crest jewel in a necklace. So, Om Namah Shivaya is at the center of the Taittiriya Samhitas of the Krishna Yajur Veda. Krishna Yajur Veda is center of all the main Vedas, Rig Yajur and Sama Veda. And the way it is done is Krishna Yajur Veda has 7 khandas, and then Rudram comes in the 4th khanda and the 5th Prapataka. And at the center of the Rudram is the Namah Shivaya mantra. I repeat this all the time. So, and then the 17 yajus in Anuvakam, right in the middle of those yajus is your Namah Shivaya cha, Shivataraya cha. And the power of Panchakshari has been time and again reinforced by great saints in Tirumoolar 3000 BC, almost 5,000 years ago, and he gave us the formula how to rid of all your karmas. So, even though we don't call in Hinduism people sinners, but the way Tirumoolar put it, your bad karmas, Shiva Shiva Engila Tivinayalar. Tivinayalar means one with bad karmas. Rough equivalent being what you call the sinners, the bad karmas. Engila Tivinayalar, Shiva Shiva Endida Tivinay Modern, Shiva Shiva Endida Devaramavar, Shiva Shiva Endida Shiva Gadidane, and so on and on. And then this is some of his verses on chanting Namah Shivaya itself. Namayanam Namattai Navil Vodiki Sivayanam Namattai Sindayul Yetra Bhavamadu Thirum Harisimadatral Avamadi Thirum Arum Pirapandro. Namayanam Namattai Navil Vodiki, keeping the name Nama on your tongue, and Sivayanam Namattai Sindayul Yetra, and invoking the name of Shiva in your mind. What will happen when you do that? Bhava Madhutiram, the Bhava Sagara is gone. So what is the gift of that? Parisam Adatral, Ava Madhutiram, all your mental illness is gone. We are all mental patients, like I say all the time. So you think you are normal, you are not normal until and unless the dawn of light enters you, the grace of Shiva enters you. We are all Avamadi. What is Avamadi? Madi that is completely distracted. That is mind that is completely distracted, doing things that are not so important. That's not so priority. Doing things that only keep you backwards or drive you backwards on your path towards the goal of moksha. So your mind keeps doing it all the time. All of our minds keeps doing it all the time. So that is Avamadi. So that Avamadi will be gone. So when that Avamadi is gone, then Arum Pirapandro, all your cycle of birth and death is cut off. So by doing what? By chanting Namah Shivaya. Namayanam Namattai Navil Vodiki Sivayanam Namattai Sindayuletra Bhavamadi Thirum Parisamadatra Avamadi Thirum Arumpirapandro. And here it is again. Ondru Kandir, Ulahukku oru Deivamum. Please, Ondru Kandir is one God for the entire universe. Ulahukku oru Deivamum. And there's one life for the entire world. Ondru Kandir, see that one life which is running in all the lives. So that is Ondru Kandir, Ulahukku oru Uyiravathu, that one life that runs in all the lives. And then one God that permeates all the lives. Ondru Kandir, Ulahukku oru Deivamum. Ondru Kandir, Ulahukku oru Uyiravathu is how to reach that God. Nandru Kandir ini Namah Shivaya Palam. So the medicine of curing this Bhavasagara illness, this is not a bitter medicine, this is a sweet medicine. Nandru Kandir ini Namah Shivaya Palam. So to reach that God, the fruit of Namah Shivaya, eat that fruit of Namah Shivaya. So once you eat it, Tindru Kandirku idu tittitavare. Those who have eaten this fruit have told us, and I am also telling you, I have eaten this fruit. Tindru Kandirku idu tittitavare. This is not a bitter fruit, this is not a bitter medicine, but this is a sweet way to get moksha. Like Mrityor Mukshiya Mamritat, how? Urvarukamiva. Urvarukamiva. Just like the effortlessly, painlessly, the cucumber, ripe cucumber fruit detaches itself from the vine of entanglement, same way Tirumala says, this is a sweet Namah Shivaya. Tindru Kandirkidu Tittittavare. And then Tirunavakarasar, oh my God, what he didn't sing about Namah Shivaya, the glory of Namah Shivaya. But Tirunavakarasar's life was one of suffering. He was subjected to all kind of torture. So his way of Namah Shivaya is that Namah Shivaya is your savior. Even if they put me under a mountain, Adikkar keel kedakkinum, Adikkal naamuttra nadukkathai keduppadu Namachivayave. So even they put me under a mountain, even they could tie Katrunai putti or Kadalil paichinum, tie me with a rock and throw me in the ocean, Namashivaya will come to my rescue and make me float like a raptor. So that is a raft, a stone raft that's floating. So he was subjected to all kind of torture. So the way that all these saints are sung reflects how the Om Namah Shivaya mantras saved them, in what ways it helped them. For Sambandha it was all joy. Namah Shivaya was joy, it was promotion, it was making everybody divine, making everybody angel. For Appar it was one that relieves all the suffering. And for Tirumala, it was one of Jnana Yoga. It is Jnanam, it is sweet, it is bliss, all that, as we saw in our Ribhagita. So the saints sang Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, in different ways. So right from Tirumala through the Vedic times, and then down to the Navakarasar in the 7th century, and then, of course, then again through Manikavasagar and also Sambandha. This is Appar again. Sutrunai Vediyan, Sodhi Vanavan. He is the word, he is the Veda, Sutrunai Vediyan, and he is the light, Jodhi Vanavan. He is Lord Transcendental. He Jodhi Vanavan, Puttunai Tirundadi, Purunda Kaidola Katrunai Putti or Kadalil Paichinum, Natrunai Avad Namachivayam, a cast asunder in the sea, tied down to a sinking stone. Namah Shivaya is your 911. It's not 911, it's 911. Namah Shivaya is your 911. And then Tirunjana Sambandhar again, 644 to 660, he lived only for 16 years. So he is one of the very rare saints who took an entire assemblage of wedding, the guests who had assembled at his wedding. He took that entire assembly into the abode of Kailasha. They all melted into the light of Lord Shiva, thanks to Sambandha, Tirunjana Sambandhar. So he sings காதலாகி கசிந்து கண்ணீர் மல்கி ஓதுவார் தம்மை நன்னெறிக்கு இப்போது வேதம் நான்கினுமை பொருளாவது நாதன் நாமம் நமச்சிவாயவே. 4 things. காதலாகி, melting in the love of Lord Shiva. காதலாகி, கசிந்து, melting, falling in love with Lord Shiva, melting in that love, kasindu kannir malhi, with eyes welled up in tears, not running down like a river, welling up in tears. Kasindu kannir malhi oduvar, when you chant that, Om Namah Shivaya, with that devotion, nannarikku vaipadu, it'll take you to that nannari, take you to your moksha, dharmartha kama moksha, that'll get you there. And what else? Nathan Namam Namachivaya. What else that Namachivaya is? Vedam Nanginimai Purulavadi. That is the essence of all the 4 Vedas. So like we saw, Vidyasu Sruti Utkrishta Rudra Ekadashni Sruta Tatra Panchakshari Tasyam Shivaityaksharatayam. The essence of all the Vedas. So Vedam Nanginimai Purulavadi. Nathan Namam Namachivaya. And then again he sings. This is our Lord Shiva from Tiruvannamalai. And he also sings the Namachivaya Padigam. Nekkul arvam miha perihi ninaindu nekku. Nekkul arvam miha perihi, melting in the love of Lord Shiva and with a lot of enthusiasm, with intense love. Arvam miha perihi, with flowing in enthusiasm. Arvam miha perihi, with a flood of devotion. Nekkul arvam miha perihi ninaindu, thinking of Lord Shiva. Akkumalai kondu angu kayyil ennuvar. And then having this Rudraksha Mala in your hand, and when you chant, do Japa Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, melting in the Lord of love, in the love of the Lord, Namah Shivaya. Arvamiha Perihi Ninaindu Nekkul. Nekkul Arvam Miha Perihi Ninaindu Akkumalai Kondu Angu Kayyil Ennuvar. What will happen to them? Someone that doesn't say he will take you out of, out of the stone, or he will make you float, or he will come and relieve you from under the mountain. He says, Ennuvar, what will happen to them? Lord Shiva will take them right up to the Devaloka. Vanavarat Tahavipadu. So he would qualify them to become the angels, to the Devas. And what is that? Nakkan Namam Namachivayave. Nakkan means the one who is sky-clad. Nanga. Sky-clad means Nakkan. He is sky-clad. That is Lord Shiva. Nakkan. Namam Namachivayave. So his name Namashivaya will do all this for you. When it will do, you have to melting with the intense enthusiasm, thinking of him, with the Rudraksha Mala when you chant him. Chant his name, Namah Shivaya. He will pick you right out of this bondage and put you way high up above. If you still keep chanting, then he will merge in his feet. Shiva Shiva Yendrida Shiva Gadidane Tirumular. So, and Manikavasagar did the same thing. Each one is a subject in itself. We can talk on Manikavasagar's compositions and Namah Shivaya for days. But this much is enough that when he sang his Namah Shivaya Valda, Shiva Puranam, he didn't sing the glory of Lord Shiva himself, Lord Shiva as a god, no. He just said Namah Shivaya Valha, glory to the name Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya Valha, glory to Namah Shivaya. Then he came and said glory to the feet of the Lord. But first he starts with Namah Shivaya Valha. So this was in the 7th century, right after Appar and Samandar. Right after Samandar melted, then Manikavasagar came in the scene. And then Sundarar picked it up later. Matru Patri Anake Indri. So this is a Namachivaya Padigam. Each one of these saints, all of them have sung Namachivaya Padigams. Appar has sung, Sundarar has sung, Samandar has sung Namachivaya Padigam. So this is Tirupandi Kodumudi Padigam, where the 10 songs about Namah Shivaya, that oh Lord Shiva, even every stanza in Sundara's Padigam, this Padigam, Tirupandi Kodumudi Padigam, ends with these lines, this refrain. This is the refrain, that, oh my Lord Shiva, even if I forget you, I may forget you, but my tongue will never forget chanting Namah Shivaya. Natrava unai nan marakkinum, oh the great one, even if I forget you, Natrava unai nan marakkinum sollum na Namah Shivayave. My tongue will keep repeating Namah Shivaya, even if I forget you. Matru patranaki indri nindiru padame manam bhavitten. Detaching myself from all the other patrus. Patruha patratran patranai, patruha appatru patru vidarku. This is Thiruvalluvar. This was, he sang, they all say this Thiruvalluvar was agnostic, or he didn't talk about God. He talks about God very much. But very opening of Thiruvalluvar. Patruha patru atran patrane. Catch, patruha, catch hold of that feet of that Lord who doesn't have any attachment. Attach yourself to that Lord who doesn't have any attachments. And attach yourself so that you will get detached from all the attachments. Patruha patratran patranai, patruha patru vidarku, patruha patru patru vidarku. Same thing here. Matru patru enakku indri nindru iru padame manam bhavitten. I caught hold of your feet. I attached myself to your feet. Padame manam bhavitten. Kept your feet in my heart. Detaching myself from all the other attachments. Not that he didn't run away, but he did what he's supposed to do, but internally he was detached and attached to Lord Shiva. So what happened after that? Petralum piranden ini piravada tanmai vandu eidinen. Ini piravada tanmai vandu eidinen. I'm completely released from the cycle. Ini pirava tanmai vandu eidinen. Katravar toludu ஏத்தும் சீர் கரையூரிற் பாண்டிக் கொடுமினி நற்றவா உனை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் நான் Namah Shivayave. So like that he has 10 songs. So every saint has sang the glory of Namah Shivaya. Adi Shankara, what he didn't do about Namah Shivaya. Shivoham, Shivoham. Who are you? I'm Shivoham. And then right after Adi Shankaracharya, Akka Mahadevi, great devotee of Lord Shiva in Karnataka, composed so many verses in Kannada on Namah Shivaya. In her presence, even the wild animals were gentle, peaceful. They were meditating, got moksha. Here and then right after that, she was 1160, and then Ramalinga Swamigal, he melted himself into light. Melted himself into light. What a saint, what a saint. Yeah. So, நடராஜ பாட்டே திருப்பாட்டு, அல்லாதரெல்லாம் திருப்பாட்டு. சிதம்பர பாட்டே திருப்பாட்டு, அல்லாதார் பாட்டெல்லாம் தெருப்பாட்டு. That's what he said. Only real songs are the songs of Nataraja and Lord Shiva and about Lord Chidambaram, the Lord of Chidambaram. Every other songs are தெருப்பாட்டு, street songs. Okay. Ramana Maharshi, right after that. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva. So on and on and on the line continues. I just put only a few. Swami Nityananda, Namah Shivaya was his breath, Namah Shivaya was his life. and then he imparted that to his disciple Muktananda. Namah Shivaya, they still chant Namah Shivaya in all Muktananda Shastram. That is their bread and butter, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. And then, so, in view of all this, the nakshatra, this is our Nataraja in our ashram in Tiruvannamalai. So this Nakshatra Mala Stotram that we are going to talk about is but one flower, one strain of flowers in a whole string of garlands that have been woven from time immemorial. That's why I put this here, because they call it Nilai Malai. So in this Nilai Malai, this is like that you could put at the entrance to your door, that will cover the entire door frame, Nilai Malai, that was started and strung from time immemorial. This Nakshatra Mala Stotram is but one set of flowers. That's all it is. So that's why I gave you an idea of where this is all coming from and how this fits into all that. Now, that was about the glory of Namah Shivaya. But then how that Namah Shivaya was associated with the nakshatras and navagrahas is also nothing new. Because during the time of Sambandar and Upper Tirunavakarasa Swamigal, who were contemporaries, there was predominance of the other religions, non-Shaivite religions, all over India, from north all the way to the south, Shravanabelagola, where you have a great statue of Mahavir, even today. So that's how the influence was. So much so, Madurai, which was the basement, which was the basis, which was the foundation of Saivism, which is a place where Lord Shiva walked and talked and touched every part of that ground in Madurai. Even in that city, the Samana religion became predominant, so much so that even the king started to patronize it. So it took no less than a person, and Sambandar himself, who is an avatar, who is of Lord Kartikeya, because Divine Mother fed him. It took Sambandar, a stalwart like Sambandar, to take care of all those. So this is the context where he talks about the planets getting subdued with Namah Shivaya, is in this event where the Mangair Karasi, who is the queen of the Pandya king, we call Kun Pandyan, because he had a little humpback, he patronized in Jainism. So, and then the queen and the minister, who was Kulachirai Nayanar, he was also Shaiva devotee, he requested the queen to send for Sambandar, because only he can take care of this. So she sent messengers to Sambandar, who was with Upper in the north of Tamil Nadu, Vedaranyam, where the temple was closed for a long time, many years, the door couldn't be opened. So both Upper and Sambandar sang songs, and the door opened itself, and people were able to access Lord Shiva. So that's where they were. So she sent messengers to them requesting Sambandar to come to Madurai to heal the king, because he was also suffering from what was called Veppunoi, some kind of a disease that made the body hot and sweat and breaking out into boils. So she sent for him. At that time, the planets were mal-aligned. The planetary position was not auspicious. So, foreboding some evil events. So, Upper tells Sambandar, please don't go now. Wait until this planetary complications is resolved. Then go, because this is a bad time. Something could happen, they could hurt you. And when Appar was requesting Samandar not to go and wait till this situation is resolved, that's when Samandar sang this, what is called Kolaru Tirupadigam. When I have Lord Shiva in my heart, he describes Lord Shiva in so many verses, when the refrain is, when I have him in my heart, Nalyan Sayim, Kolyan Sayim, Venedan Sayim, that not know what the planets can do, what the stars can do, what the animals can do, nobody can do anything. So that's a beautiful padigam. So that's just the background. So this was already done a while ago, before the advent of Adi Shankaracharya, of what the Namah Shivaya and Lord Shiva's worship takes care of all your planetary issues, which is only like the side fringe benefits. So even today, for all problems of Rahu and Ketu, people go to Kalahasti to do rituals. And so he sang the Kolar Tirupadigam and went ahead. And lo and behold, what was predicted did happen. They set fire to the place where he was staying. But then Samandar sent the fire right back to those people who started it. And then he sent it more to the king, at whose instigation this was done. So the king was now suffering more intensely. And they did so many things to kill this little boy. A religion that was the basis of which was compassion, the basis of which was not to hurt even an insect or an ant, that you would walk sweeping the ground with a peacock feather. Such a religion, such the monks from such a religion setting fire to a place where a 10-year-old child is staying. That was the peak of violence originating from a religion that was completely based upon non-violence, even to insects, so that you would cover your mouth when you walk so you don't breathe in the insects. That was atrocity committed on this little child. But then, lo and behold, thank God he was who he was. He was able to save himself and send it right back to where it all came from. So the king was suffering more and more. And then not only he healed the king, he won all the competitions that the Samanas or the Jains prescribed, and then he made his compositions swim against the current. They made him throw his compositions in fire, and they all came out unhurt. They jumped up. So all these things, you name it. So everything happened. So then the king got converted back to Shaivism. And so on and so on. So we'll take up some other story some other time. Now, this is one of these Kolar Tirupadigam. This is a beautiful composition. Veyuru Tholi Bangan Vidamunda Gandan Miganalla Veenai Dadavi Veyuru Tholi Bangan Vidamunda Gandan Miganalla Veenai Dadavi Masaru Tingal Gangai Mudimela Nindan Ulame Bugundadana Veyuru Tholi Bangan Ardhanarishwara, his consort Parvati Devi. How he describes Parvati Devi? Veyuru Tholi. Parvati Devi's shoulders are as soft as and shiny as the portion of the bamboo that is between the two sections. Like if you take a bamboo, and that is the bamboo has sections, so that section between those two parts, that the two separate rings in between, that is Veyuru. That's so soft, as soft as that bamboo. The one who has the shoulders that looks and shiny as the bamboo, surface of the bamboo, and whom he has as his half Veyuru Toli Pangan, part of him, and whose throat is tarnished by the hala dish, by the poison of hala. So, Vidamunda Kandan, Mihanalla Veena Tadavi, the one who plays the Veena, the Lord Shiva loves Veena, it's called Rudra Veena. He plays the Veena, he loves Veena music. And that's one of the reasons why Ravana was able to win over him by playing the Veena. Mihanalla Veena Tadavi, such a Lord Shiva, Masaru Tingal Gangai, the blemishless moon and the Ganges wearing on his head, Mudimela Nindu, and having entered my heart in such a form, Veyurudoli Bangan, Vidamunda Kandan, Miganalla Veenai Dadavi, Masaru Tingal Gangai, Mudimela Nindan, Ulame Bugundadana. Since he has entered in my heart, what's going to happen? None of these planets can do anything. What planets? Nyayiru, the sun, Tingal, moon, and Aditya cha Somaya Mangalaya Budaya cha Guru Shukra Sanibhyacha Raghave Ketave Namaha. None of this. Nyayiru, Tingal, Seva, Mangal, and moon, Budhan, Budh, Vyalan, Guru, Velli, Shukra, Shani, Pambirandu, Rahu, Ketu, the two snakes. Call it Pambirandu means two snakes, Rahu and Ketu. What happened, even though they may have in a bad positions in my chart, or they may all have malaligned themselves, but they all will become auspicious for me. Asu Aru Nalla Nalla. Without any fault, Asura, without any harm, Asu Aru, they become good. Nalla Nalla, not only for me, all the devotees who have Lord Shiva in their heart, for all those adiyars, Adiyar avarku migave. So therefore, Appar Swami, don't worry about the planets. Veyuru Toli Bhangan, Vidamunda Gandan, Miganalla Veenai Dadavi, Masaru Tingal Gangai, Mudimela Nindan, Ulame Bugundadana, Nyayiru Tingal Sevvai, Budhan Vyalan Velli, Sanibam Virandu Mudane, Asaru Nalla Nalla, Avai Nalla Nalla, Adiyar Avarku Migave. So these are the two refrains in all this Padigam. Scholar Tirupadigam, in Ulame Puhundadanal, having entered the heart in such a form, what changes would be the description of how he describes Lord Shiva, and then what would change would be from planets and the animals. None of this could harm me, and all other things that hurt us. So those would change, but then this second refrain will be, they all become harmless for the devotees. So, Yenbodu Gombadamai, Yivai Marvilanga, Iruderi Udane, Ponbodi Matamalai, Punal Sudi Vandan, Ulame Bugundadanal, Vonpodur Rodel, Padinuttodarum, Udanayanal Galavaidan, Anbodu Nalla Nalla, Avai Nalla Nalla, Adiyar Avarku Migave. First stanza he sang about the planets, now he talks about the nakshatras here. Onbodu Ondrodu Elu Padinattodu Arum. So when the certain stars come in certain days, they are considered, those days are considered inauspicious. So this is a lot of research worthy passage right here. Onbodu Ondrodu Elu Padinattodu Arum Udanaya Naalgal Avaidam. So we are not going to go into that, that's not the scope of our talk today. I just put that in just to say that someone that also did this Nakshatramala in a different way. And like I said, the description changes on the top portion. Yenbodu Kombodu Amai, Yenbu, bone, Kombu, the horn of the wild pig, the boar, horn of the boar, in the bones of animals, and Yenbodu Amai Vodu. So the Amai Vodu means the shell of the tortoise. the shells of the turtle. So these are his jewels, these are his jewelry, these are his ornaments. So that is Lord Shiva. Enbadu kombodu amai, whatever is discarded after these animals die, he takes them as, wears them as his ornaments. Elumbu, bone, and then the horn of the boar, and then the shell of the turtle. Ivai marbilanga, decorating his chest, marbilanga. Yeruderi Elayudane, riding the bull, coming with the Divine Mother Uma Devi, Parvati Devi, Elayudane, that is Parvati Devi. Ponpodi Mattamalai, the Umattamalai, that datura flower, Ponpadi, that has its inside the golden colored makarandam, what we call the makarandam. So golden colored makarandam. That flower, one who wears that flower, the datura flower. Punal Sudi, Mattamalai, Punal Sudi, Punal means Ganga, the water. Punal Sudi, having entered my heart, Vandan Ulame Puhunda Danal. So all these stars, the nakshatras coming on these days, Anbodu Nalla Nalla, Avai Nalla Nalla, Adiyarkavattu Nigave. So now we come to the first stotra of our Nakshatra Mala. That the rhyme is so amazing, absolutely amazing. Look at this. Sindave, Bandave, Bhavandave, Bandave. Sindave, Bandave, Bhavandave, Bandave. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Damalesha, Namasheshita, Pamaretar. Srimadhatmane Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya. Damalesha Duta Koka Bandave Namah Shivaya. Namashe Namad Bhavandave Namah Shivaya. Pamaretara Pradana Bandave Namah Shivaya. Srimadhatmane Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya. Damashela Duta Koka Bandave Namah Shivaya. Namashe Sita Nama Bhavandave Namah Shivaya. Namashe Sita Namad Bhavandave Namah Shivaya. Pamaretara Pradana Bandave Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Srimadhatmane Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya. Damalesha Duta Koka Bandave Namah Shivaya. Namashe Sita Nama Badva Bandave Namah Shivaya. Pamaretara Pradana Bandave Namah Shivaya. Srimadhatmane. Sri is wealth. Wealth means not green dollars or rupees. That is not your wealth, not your land, not just. That is only one portion of the Sri. Sri means your health mainly, and your family, your spouses, the happiness of your spouses, the health of your spouses. Then last is your job and your money. First is your health. These are all the Sri. First is your health, both mental and physical. First is mental health. You may be physically healthy, but if you are mentally sick, no good. Okay? So these are your wealth. Srimadhatmane. So one who is in possession of all this wealth, then he is that wealth itself. Only one who is in possession of all this wealth in an infinite measure can depart with it, can dispense with it. Not a miser. Okay? Only one who has possession of all this in an infinite level can dispense with it, and Lord Shiva does it. Srimadhatmane. Then what else does he possess? Not only he should have enough wealth, infinite amount of wealth, health, compassion, love. So wealth is your family, wealth is your health, wealth is your job, wealth is your mind, wealth is your mood, wealth is your children, wealth is your parents, wealth is your gurus, wealth is your friends. If any one of this area is not to wealthy or healthy, then you don't have Shri. So this is all wealth. Your friend, your family, yourself, your mind, your children, your parents, all this. See, and then those who get to have this in a great measure, they are the most blessed ones with great good karmas. And all this comes from worshipping Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva gives praise and praise, the wealth of this world and also the wealth of the other world. Shambhavecha mayobhavecha, Shankarayacha mayaskarayacha, Rudram. Shambhavecha mayobhavecha, Sham, Mangalakaraka. He does Mangal for this world. Mayobhavecha gives you the wealth of the other world as well. Shambhavecha mayobhavecha nama Shankarayacha, Shankaroti iti Shankaraha, Mangalam karoti iti Mangalaha. Shankara Mayaskaraya gives you the wealth of the other world, so that is why Srimad Atmane, and only one who has all the compassion and the qualities of gunas and charity can do that. That is why the next line Acharya says, Gunaika Sindave. It's not a Gunaika Pandave, Gunaika Talabve. No, it's not a Gunaika Talab. It's an ever-flowing river of compassion. Sindha. Madhubhatartayate madhuksharanti sindavaha. That's our prayer in Hinduism. Let the rivers flow sweetly, madhuksharanti, and shed sweetness, madhuksharanti sindavaha. And let the seasons be sweet, madhubhatartayate, madhuksharanti sindavaha, madhbhir nashant aushadihi, and all the vegetation be sweet. So therefore, Gunaika Sindave, the river flowing, eternally flowing river of love and kindness, all the gunas put together. That's why Acharya doesn't pick one guna. Gunaika Sindave, infinite good qualities, ever flowing, non-stop. And because of these qualities of compassion, what he did, he just condescended and said, oh sun, Surya, I'll give you just a little bit of my life, an atomic portion of my light, so you can shine. Yeah. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Everything here is lit because of his light. So, that is the next line here. Srimadatmane Sri Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya Damalesha Duta Koka Bandave Namah Shiva. Koka Bandha. Koka Bandha is sun. Try to find this word. Why is I tried to little research on this word Koka Bandhu. They all said sun, but then why Koka Bandhu? What is the word Koka? Finally found out that Koka means Vishnu, so he's called Surya Narayana. So he's related to Vishnu. So Koka Bandhu, that is why he's called Koka Bandhu. Koka Bandhu. So what Lord Shiva did? He kindled in a little bit of light dhuta, stirred in, shook off a little of his light, put it on him. Avadhuta, when somebody was shaken everything, all the attachments. So here, Lord Shiva shook a little bit of, condescended, put a little bit of the light on the sun. So that is why it's called Dhamma Lesha. Lesha means very little. Dhamma light. Dhamma Lesha Dhuta Koka Bandhave Namah Shivaya. Srimadatmane Sri Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya. Srimadatmane Gunaika Sindave Namah Shivaya. Dhamalesha Koka Dhamalesha Duta Koka Bandhave Namah Shivaya. Why he is able to do that? Because he is light itself. Kavyapi Tejo Mayam Panchamukha Puja. Vyakta Vyakta Nurupincha Paramam Shatrinsa Tattvadikam Tasmad Uttara Tattvam Aksharamiti Dhyayam Sada Yogivihi Omkaradi Samasta Mantra Janakam Sukshmati Sukshmam Param Mande Panchamam Ishwarasya Vadanam Kavyapi Tejo Mayam. That's why he is able to shed a little bit of this light and give it to the sun. Namashe Sita Namadbha Bandhave Namah Shivaya Pamaretra Pradana Bandhave Namah Shivaya. He is your only kin and kith and friend and philosopher, everything put together. Every other friend and family and kith and kin would leave one day, either while you are alive, while they are alive, all the friends and whatever family, children, parents, either while they are alive they may leave, or after when they're dead they leave, of course. So, but the only one who will not leave is that Lord Shiva. And what else he does? When you chant his name, Namah Shivaya, even though you may be in this world with all these attachments, those attachments are only for namesake. Nama Sheshita, Nama Matra. They're not really attachments because you're really detached internally now. That happens. You know, you chant Om Namah Shivaya and see what happens. You will be in the world doing your duties, but nothing would bother you. Happens to people all the time, but try it. So if you want to be peaceful, living peaceful, doing your duties without getting agitated and going crazy, and if you want to become Nama Sheshada Anamat Bhavandave, if you want to be like that, chant Namah Shivaya. So, Nama Sheshada Anamat Bhavandave Namah Shivaya Bhavanda. So, Acharya doesn't even call it Bhavasagara. Because Bhavasagara, there is a possibility you can swim and get out if you are close to the shore, or a boat could come and pick you up. But he calls it a well of darkness, Bhavi. In Telugu we call it Bhavi. Bhava Andave. The darkness, the well of darkness. Lord Shiva would get you out of that well of darkness. And not only relieve you from all this well of darkness, but also when you live here, your attachments are only for namesake. Nama Sheshidhana Madbhavandave Namah Shivaya. What else he will do? Pamaretra Pradhana Bandhave Namah Shivaya. Pamaretra, for who? Is he the Pradhana Bandhu? He is your main relative, Pradhana Bandhu, the main one who really matters. Not for everybody. Not for everybody. But for who then? Acharya qualifies it. Pamara Itara. One who is other than the Pamaras. Who are the Pamaras? The herd. The herd is the Pamara. And you flow with the herd, you walk with the herd, you do what the herd does. If one goat goes this way, the rest of the goats go that way. If you do that, then you're Pamara. If you detach yourselves and go, no, I'm going to go see where the bilwa tree is. If you're one of those goats, then you're Pamara Itara. Okay? So that's what everybody did. They detached themselves from this mainstream, the herd mentality, Pamara. For those, Pamaretra Pradhana Bandhave Namah Shivaya. He is the Pradhana Bandhu. Because you've detached yourself internally from all the other bandhas and attached yourself to that only bandha that needs to be attached to. Pradhana Bandhave Namah Shivaya. By the way, that is chanted for Nakshatra Ashwini. That is just the fringe benefit. Okay. Bharani. Kalabhita Viprabhala Palate Namah Shivaya. Shula Binna Dushta Daksha Palate Namah Shivaya. Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. Palayaduna Dayala Valave Namah Shivaya. Kalabhita Viprabhala Palate Namah Shivaya. Shula Binna Dushta Daksha Palate Namah Shivaya. Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. Palayaduna Dayala Valate Namah Shivaya. Kalabhita Viprabhala Palate Namah Shivaya. What a rhyme. Palate, Palate, Kalate, Valate. You sit under a tree for 10 years, you can't be able to compose this. Kalabhita Shula Bhinna Dushta Mulakaranaya Palayaduna Dayala Valave Namah Shivaya. Kalabhita Viprabhala Palate Namah Shivaya. Shula Bhinna Dushta Daksha Palate Namah Shivaya. Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. Palayaduna Dayala Valate Namah Shivaya. What a crying. What a composition. 27 stanzas run like this. Not 1, 2. And he'll just do it like this. Flowing right out of him. Kalabhita Viprabala. Viprabala. Who was the Viprabala? Markandeya. Vipra means one who is wise. One who is wise is called Vipra. So that Viprabala, the son of the Vipra, Markanda Rishi. Okay? So that Markandeya was the son of Marudvati and then Markanda Rishi. So why he is called wise? Why Markanda Rishi is called wise? For 2 reasons. Because when they didn't have children, I mean he was wise, of course he was a Vipra, he was wise in other factors, but I say wise because when they didn't have children, he was wise enough to pray to Lord Shiva. Number 1. Number 2, he is wise because when Lord Shiva asked him, you want a child that will live long, but not so smart, you know, don't want to use those words. Or you want a short-lived one that will be wise, full of wisdom. So, Markanda Rishi was wise enough again, had enough wisdom to ask for a child that will be wise, will have wisdom. But it doesn't matter, he will live short because Markanda Rishi figured out that if this boy is wise, he can figure a way out of the 16-year limit. And he was right. So, that is why it's called Viprabala. So then that Viprabala, Acharya uses an adjective, Kalabhita. So the Viprabala wasn't able to understand why his parents were so upset. You know, when he became 16, the parents seemed like moving around with a little gloomy face and this and that. They would not tell him what happened. But the day came, just the day before, they couldn't bear it. They were crying and they said, tell me what's going on. And finally they had to tell him this is what's going on. So he said, this is a very small problem to solve. This is not so. So he just goes, I have my Lord Shiva right here. This is what he does. It's a very small problem to solve. So he went and gets hold of Lord Shiva at the time that is due. And then says, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And you see in the picture what's happened. So Kalabhita Viprapalate Namah Shivaya. Kalabhita means one who was threatened by Kala, the Yama. So Viprapalate Namah Shivaya. So that is one. So all these stories, or this story is in all the Puranas pretty much. Bhagavad Purana, Markandeya Purana, even Devi Purana, I think it's there somewhere too. Yeah. Kalabhita Viprapalate Namah Shivaya. Then, again, what did the Namah Shivaya did? Shula Binna Dushta Daksha Palate Namah Shivaya. So this is what for bhaktas he does. What is he for dushtas? Binna Palate. Shula Binna, with his shula he shatters the forehead. Shula Binna. Binna means shatters. Shatters what? Forehead. Of who? Dushtas. What kind of dushtas? Like Daksha. Daksha means very skillful. But he used his skill in the wrong way. Very skillful. What was the wrong way? He used the skill in a wrong way by devising methodology of homam where Havish didn't have to be offered for Lord Shiva. So that's how he used his skill. Misuse, abuse of skill. Then he paid for it. So, and then he called him all kind of names. So that's why he's called Dushta. So what happened? Then he became a subject of Shiva's anger. Then Shiva's Shula splitted the forehead of Daksha. Dushta Daksha Phalate, Shula Bhinna Dushta Daksha Phalate Namah Shivaya. So that was what happened. So if you're a Bhakta, this is what happens. And if you're a Dushta, if you don't have to be a Bhakta, it's okay. But don't become a Dushta because that's very bad, you know. Don't call God names and abuse him. No. No, big no. Okay. And Shiva Nindana is the worst sin. My God, Tirumala just talks about it in paras and paras. Shiva Nindana. You know, all these guys who are depicting their gurus and like Shiva and this and that, all that nonsense is no good. No good. Please. Okay. Okay, so Thalavita Vibrapalate Namah Shivaya, Shula Binna Dushta Daksha Palate Namah Shivaya. Okay, what else he does? Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya, Palayadhunappa Dayala Bhalate Namah Shivaya. Mulakaranaya. He is the causeless cause of everything. He is the Mulakaranam. Can you go and find what's the root of the root? It is always root. What is the root of the root? It is root. So there is no other root for it. So that is the Mulakarana. Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. He is the death to death itself. Causeless cause. Death of death. Kala Kala, death of death. You know, we have this beautiful temple near Tiruchi. It's called Tirupangili, where our priest Manikandan hails from. His family takes care of the temple. It's called, it's a beautiful Shiva temple there. And this is a very few temple, I think one of the very rarest temple, where you have a shrine for Lord Yamadharmaraja. And you know why? Because when Lord Shiva kicked Yamadharma Raja, and he is supposed to come and fell here in Tirupangili. So there is an underground there. If you go underground, you will see where he fell. And then because then the whole Srishti got complicated because nobody was dying because Shiva is dead. So then people came and prayed to Parvati Devi and Shiva. Then he revived Yamaraja right there in Tirupangili. So that's why if you go there, you would see Lord Yama as a child at the feet of Divine Mother Parvati Devi and Shiva. So that is Tirupangili. So Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. And I think I got some pictures. Anyway, so that's on the sides, information. So next time you go near Tiruchirappalli, look out for this temple in Tirupangili. So he is death to death himself, and he is a causeless cause. So, and then what about the other qualities of Shiva that Acharya says here is a very important quality, that he is so compassionate that he is the Dayala Vala, he is the root of all compassions. If you have little compassion, that only comes from him. He is such a compassionate, the source of infinite source of compassion, that when you pray to him, the results are instantaneous, not in the future, not in the next generation, next incarnation, no. Palaya Aduna, Palaya Aduna. Aduna means now. Palaya, the protection comes right now. And that is so true. I have experienced it so many times. So when you are a devotee of Lord Shiva, the protection is right now from dangers. It's not that, you go into the danger and you are in intensive care, then he takes care of you. No. The instant. Once my truck was total completely, I just walked out of it, not even a scratch. About 15, 20 years ago. I had the picture somewhere, not there. So, he protects you now. That is how his compassion is. So, Mulakaranaya Kala Kalate Namah Shivaya. Palayadhuna Dayala Valate Namah Shivaya. And number 3. Ishtavastu Mukhyadana Hetave Namah Shivaya. Dushta Daitya Vamsha Dhuma Ketave Namah Shivaya. Srishti Rakshanaya Dharma Setave Namah Shivaya. Ashtamurtaye Vrishendra Ketave Namah Shivaya. Hetave, Ketave, Setave, Ketave. Look at the rhyme. Yishta, Dushta, Srishti, Ashta. Beginning. End. Hetave, Ketave, Setave, Ketave. Ishtavastu Mukhyadhana Hetave Namah Shivaya. Dushta Daitya Vamsha Dhuma Ketave Namah Shivaya. Srishti Rakshanaya Dharma Setave Namah Shivaya. Ashtamurtaye Vrishendra Ketave Namah Shivaya. The Sanskrit only looks difficult because it's a string of sandhis. But if you separate them, Acharya's Sanskrit is so simple. As they say, simplicity is the brevity of the soul. The wise people, the really wise people, the really intellectual, the great ones, don't make it complicated for you. They make it very simple for you. So look at this word, Ishtavastu. What is so hard about it? Ishtavastu, whatever you are desiring. Mukhya, not all that you are desiring, whatever is important of your desire. The most important desire, he thinks that is the right one. Ishtavastu mukhya. Dana hetu is the cause of you getting that dana of Ishtavastu. So if you're getting the dana of your mukhya Ishtavastu, if your most important cherished desire, then who is the cause for it? Is Lord Shiva. So Ishtavastu mukhya dana hetave namah Shivaya. So what else is? Dushta daitya vamsha dhumaketave. He is the meteorite, and he is also the what do they call this? The space rocks that come and destroy the earth. They fly in here. The comets, like the comets of destruction. So those kind of comets of destructions, or when the comets come, they also say that this is like a bad omen. So he is the comet of destructions, or the woman of destruction of who? Dushta Daityas, the Asuras, Daityas, the Vamsha of Diti, or Daityas. So Dushta Vamsa, it's so simple, Sanskrit, that's the Acharya. So what else he does? Srishti Rakshanaya. Because he's one of the Panchakritis. What are these? Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara. So Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana, Anugraha. So he protects the Srishti. He creates the Srishti, and he also Rakshanaya, protects it. And he also gives you moksha. How? Because he is the bridge to moksha. Dharma setave. Namah Shivaya. So Dharma setave means he is bridge to the mokshas. He is the bridge of the mokshas. So it is through him he takes you across to moksha. And he is riding the bull, which is Dharma. That is why it's called Dharma setave. Dharma, the bull, that Nandi is Dharma, represents Dharma. So Dharma setave Namah Shivaya. Ashtamurtaye Vrishendra Ketave Namah Shivaya. He is the 8 Murtis. He has manifested himself as Ashtamurtis here in this world. Vrishendra Ketave, who has the Vrisha Indra, Rishabha Indra, Vrishendra, who is the prime of the Nandis, Rishabhas, the prime of the Indra of all the Rishabhas is Rishabhendra, Vrishendra, one who has the flag of the prime Rishabhas, or the supreme Rishabha. One who has a flag, one who has his vehicle, the supreme Rishabha, Vrishendra, and who is also Ashtamurti. That is Namah Shivaya. So Ishtavastu Mukhya Dana Hetava. He is the cause of gifts of cherished desires. Fulfiller of all the important ones. Mukhya Vastu, Mukhya Ishtavastu. Because of his blessings we are blessed. We all think that, because of my effort I achieved this or I got this. Yes, you did your effort. There's no discredit. But there was somebody else who was blessing your effort to bear fruit. Remember, we repeat this all the time. Karturagnyaya prapyate phalam. Otherwise, what happens? Karma becomes God. But it's not so. Karma is not God. Karma cannot be God. Ramana Maharshi says, Karma kim param. How can karma be God? Kim param. Cannot be. Karma kim param. And so what is karma? Tajjadam. It is jad. It's inert. But who gives the phala? Ishtavastu mukhya dana hetave. It's because of him. It's because of his blessings we are blessed. Not by our efforts. Yes, we did our efforts. It is because of his blessings we are blessed and have what we have. Because you have to only look around. You go to India or anywhere to see all the unfortunate ones that are suffering. For even to make like a 0.01% of the money that you are making. There are so many people who are suffering, sweating blood. So these are the blessings. Because of him we are blessed. So that's because we have some done good karmas, praised him or worshipped him. So Mukhya Dhanave, Hetave, he is the cause of all our blessings. Dushta Daitya Vamsha Dhuma Ketave Namah Shivaya, comet, a falling star. He is a destruction. He is the destruction, cause of destruction. He is the comet of destruction for the evil Daityas, son of Ditis. Who was Diti? one of the 13 wives of sage Kashyapa, and the mother of the Daityas or the Asuras, opposed to the gods. So, Vamsha Dhumaketave. So, Dhumaketu also means Agni. Dhumaketu means one who has the flag of smoke, Dhumaketave. The smoke, flag of smoke, Agni. So that means Agni. So Dhumaketave, just as Agni burns the dry bamboos, Vamsha also means bamboo, raptors, arrogance, all this Vamsha. So all this is like Daksha, arrogance. So this, like the bamboo is burnt by the Agni, so is Lord Shiva, burns and destroys the arrogance and the Asuras, or the arrogance of the Asuras. Dushta Daitya Vamsha Dhumaketave Namah Shivaya. He is the cause of those destructions. Okay. Srishtirakshanaaya Dharma Setave Namah Shivaya. Ashtamurtaye Vrashendra Ketave Namah Shivaya. So Srishti Rakshanaya. Let me go back here for a second. I need to mention this. So, when it's said here, when it's Dushta Daitya Vamsha Dhumaketave, he's supposed to be destroying all these Dushta Daityas, Asuras. But in Puranas, you have seen that it is Lord Shiva who gives all these boons to these Asuras, like Bhasmasura. All these boons to them, and even to Ravana, because Ravana was his devotee. So how is that then he becomes the cause of the destructions? You see, Shiva is more sneakier than Vishnu. Vishnu is sneakier, but Shiva is more sneakier. Shiva just, gives enough rope that you can hang yourself, but he knows what he's doing. But the original cause of all the destruction of the Asuras is Shiva only. If Shiva hadn't given that Bhasmasura that boon, that whoever he touches shall be burnt into ashes, Bhasmasura would not have burnt himself. So, the original cause of Hetave, so that is also the original cause of destruction of Asuras, is Shiva's boon. Same way, he gave enough rope for Ravana, that he got so arrogant, and he just didn't know what he was doing. He tried to even lift that mountain, Kailash also. So that arrogance led to his destruction, when Vishnu had to come and take care of him and destroy him. So, but even though he gives them bones, but he gives long enough rope that he knows that's enough to hang themselves, to get us so arrogant. Okay. So that's how he also does Srishti Rakshana. He protects the Shrishtis from the Asuras. And then Dharma Setave. Dharma Setave, he is the bridge to the Dharmas. He is the Dharma. He is the Nandi. Tirumular doesn't call him Shiva. Tirumular always calls him Nandi. The opening song, Nandi Mahandanai, Nada Kolindinai, Pundiyil Vaittu Adi Potugindrane, Nandi Mahandanai. When he sings the Ganesha song, he says the son of Nandi. So in every Tirumular song, Nandi means Shiva. So Nandi is also Dharma. So and he is the bridge to Dharma Setave. Setu is bridge. Dharma Setave Namah Shivaya. Ashtamurtaye. So where is Lord Shiva? He is manifested in these eightfold forms. When again going back to Upadesha Saram, when Ramana Maharshi sings that, he says, Karturajñā prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam timaho dadau patanakaranam palamashasvatam gati nirodhakam. So if you keep doing karma after karma, that becomes a ocean of seeds of karmas that you generate and causing you a downfall. So what should I do? Should I run away? No. Don't run away. So what you should do? Timaho dadau patanakaranam palamasashvatam gati nirodhakam. Therefore what should I do? Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam chitta shodakam mukti sadakam. Keep doing your duty, but offering it to Lord Shiva with a detachment of what you're doing. So then how you should, who is Ishvara? So how you should worship that Ishvara? Chitta sadakam, chitta shodakam, mukti sadakam. Kaya vangmana karyamuttamam pujanam japa chintanam kratmat. You can worship him with your hands, do pujas, you can chant his names, you can meditate upon him, the Supreme One Being, meditating upon him with his name, Namah Shivaya. Kaya vangmana karyamuttamam pujanam japa chintanam kratmat. In that order. So what is the most supreme is meditating upon that Lord Shiva, chanting his name. So who is that Lord Shiva? Ashtamurti. Kaya vangmana karyamuttamam pujanam japa chintanam krama jagata ishadi yukta sevanam ashtamurti brideva pujanam. That Ishvara is in the Jagat. So whatever you can do, yukta sevanam, whatever is God has enabled you to do, do it. He doesn't want you to give everything away. He doesn't want you to renounce. But whatever little seva you could do in your capacity to the Lord, who has manifested himself in these 8 forms of Ashtamurti, do it for him. So Ashtamurteye Vrishendra Ketave Namah Shivaya. And there is always Vayu Samhita talks about what are the Ashtamurtis, Ashtaforms. We'll skip that for now because we're almost coming up on 10:30. So then we always Ashtamurti we worship in his pujas. Bhavaya Devaya Namah, Sarvaya Devaya Namah, Ishanaya Devaya Namah, Prashupataya Devaya Namah, Ugraya Devaya Namah, Rudraya Devaya Namah, Bhimaya Devaya Namah, Mahato Devaya Namah, Bhavasya Devasya Patye Namah, Sarvasya Devasya Patye Namah, Ishanasya. So these are all represent the 8 forms, all the Panchabhutas, the sun and the moon, 7, and all the jivas, all the life, that becomes 8. That is Ashtamurti. Vayu Samhita details it here. And then the 4th one, use it for Rohini. Apadhadri bheda tanka hastate namah shivaya. Apadhadri bheda tanka hastate namah shivaya. Papahari divya sindhu mastate namah shivaya. Papadarine lasannamastate namah shivaya. Shapadosha kandana prasastate namah shivaya. Apadhadri bheda tanka hastate namah shivaya. Papahari divya sindhu mastate namah shivaya. Papadarine lasannamastate namah shivaya. Shapadosa kandana prasastate namah shivaya. Om namah shivaya om 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 namah shivaya. Apadadri bheda tanka hastate namah shivaya. The mountain of apad, the mountain of distress you may have, the axe in the hand of Lord Shiva, we do bheda, we destroy it. Apadadri bheda tanka. The tanka that's in the hands of Lord Shiva. What kind of tanka is that? That apadadri bheda, they'll break the mountain. Apadadri, that is a mountain of distress, mountain of troubles. Bheda tanka hastate namah shivaya. Papahari divya sindhu, the celestial river, who has the celestial river on his head, the Sindhu river, mastate on his head. What kind of river? Divya Sindhu, because it came from the heavens. Remember? Ganga came from the heavens. That is why it's called Divya Sindhu. It is still Divya Sindhu until it goes past Banaras. Papahari, just by the side. Papahari divya sindhu mastate namah shivaya. Papadarine lasan namastate namah shivaya. If you look at the head of Shiva, it is little very crowded up there, isn't it? In the picture. What is the crowd? Is all the Namah Shivaya mantra chanted by the devotees. He puts them on his head. Wow. Papadarine. And he removes the papas, and your worship that you offer at his feet, he takes it upon his head. Lasan namastate namassivaya. All the namaskaras that you gave to him, where it is, he puts it, he cherishes it so much. Oh, this came from my devotee. So he cherishes it, puts it on his head. So that is why you don't hurt a devotee. You know, if you do 1000 Atirudram, and you hurt one devotee, your Atirudram is no good. Sorry. Because when Avayar was asked, who is the greatest? He said, Tondardam Perumai Sollavum Aride. See, the glory of Lord Shiva's Sivanadiyas, the devotees of Shiva, cannot be brought into words because Shiva lives in them. So, anyway. And what was yours? Shapa dosha khandana prasastate. All the shapas, so whoever had great shapas, like including Brahma, they meditated upon Shiva. Indra meditated upon Shiva to get rid of all the shapas. So, that is Lord Shiva. Apadadri, mountain of danger, tanka hastate, papaharini, takes away the sins. And then lesson adorned by the namaskaras, like Trishatis that we chant. Om Hiranyavahave Namaha, Om Senanye Namaha, Dishanchapatahe Namaha. So all those, starting from Hiranyavahave, so all the 300 Trishati, where does it go? Goes to right on top of Lord Shiva. Okay. Shapa dosha. So Khandana means one who destroys. These are all very simple Sanskrit. You know, Shapa, you all know Shapa. Dosha, we all know Shapa in pretty much all the language. Khandana, every language has it. Prashastate, Prashamsa. So very simple. So if you break the Sandhi of Acharya's Sanskrit, it's very easy, very simple. Brevity, simplicity is the soul of wisdom. And then the fifth one will conclude with this. Vyomakesha divya bhavya rupate namah shivaya hema medini dharendra chapate namah shivaya nama matra dagdha sarva bhapate namah shivaya kamanaikata nahridyurapate namah shivaya Vyomakesha divya bhavya rupate namah shivaya. What is Lord Shiva's Kesha? It's all over the place. Not even all over the place, all over the sky. It's spread all over the sky. Why it is spread all over the sky? Because that is the only way he could hold that celestial river. Divya Sindhu Mastate Namah Shivaya. The Divya Sindhu was so wild that he had to spread his hair all over the sky to hold it. Then contain it, then release it, a controlled release. So true. Vyomakesha Divya. And then, even though his hair is spread all over, it doesn't look bad. Divya Bhavya Rupa, oh my God, is divinely beautiful. Bhavya Rupa, beautiful. How Bhavya? Divya Bhavya Rupa. Okay, nothing, all this, Shiva doesn't deal with little things. He says all the sky is his hair, the Himalaya is his bow. He made a bow out of the Himalayan mountain. Hema Medini Dharendra, the mountain of the Indra of all the mountains. Hema Medini Dharendra, on this earth, the Indra of all the mountains is Himalaya. And that what he did? Chapate, he made a bow out of it to kill the Tripura Asuras, the Tripurantakaya. So the Tripura, what the bow in his hand is that. So then what else it is? Nama matra dhagda sarva papate namah shivaya. Nama matra. That's all you have to do. Just the Om Namah Shivaya alone. Namah Shivaya alone. What happens? Dhagda sarva papa. Not little papa, some papa, 10 papas, 20 papas, 30 papas. Sarva papa. Dhagda. Burn. Namah Shivaya. And then there's one place he doesn't go. There's one area he doesn't go. You know what? That area is a heart that's full of desires. I want this, I want that, I want that. Oh, I don't have enough of this, more of this, more of this. Kama naikatana hridyurapate namah shivaya. Aneka kama hridyurapate. That heart filled with infinite number of desires, that's a place where he cannot enter. Because there is no room for him to enter. Omakesha. Space as his long locks of hair. Divya Bhavya Rupa. Hema Medini Dharendra Chapate Namah Shivaya. Dhamma Matra Dagdasa. Sarva Papate Namah Shivaya. Kamanaika Thana Hridrapate Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. I'll see you next week. Not next week, tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have a chanting. Okay. If you have any questions, please. Oh, tomorrow we'll meet at 8:30 Eastern Time. 8:30 in the morning Eastern Time. India will be, I think, 6 p.m. So.